The question is, why would a young lady keep denying the man sex until it got to the point where the man would have to go outside to look for it somewhere? And at this point now, all right, I'm hearing.
The example you're giving, the situation you're using as an instance happens. It barely happens. It doesn't happen always, right?
All right.
Now, my question is, how about those men that their woman tries so hard to please and yet they cheat? How about them?
All right. Very important question. All right. What about those men that their wives or their women try so hard to keep, try so hard to satisfy, right? That's your question. And yet at the end of the day, they still go on to cheat on their wives or on their spouse or on their fiancé. All right. You see, no reasonable man, I repeat, no reasonable man with his senses would cheat on any young lady that loves and cares for him, respects him, and satisfies him sexually. I didn't say no man. I said no reasonable man will do that. You see,
if you most of the time, way, it means, if you put it that way, it simply means that 90 to 95% of men are not reasonable. Is that what you are trying to say?
No, that is not true. Why did you say so?
Even 98% cheats.
All right, why do you say so?
So if you say no reasonable man, it means like even 99% of men are not reasonable.
That's why I'm saying, why did you say so? Why did you say so?
Because they cheat. Yes, so even 99% of men derive joy in cheating. And the ones some people see as responsible men, they cheat with smartness until when they are caught. You understand? So majority of our men cheat. So if you say no reasonable man will cheat on his wife, a caring wife and all that, it means majority of men are not reasonable. Sorry.
That is why I keep on asking you the same question, that why do you think 99%, 100%, if I am even not mistaken, are not reasonable from this angle? Can you just tell me?
I said from what you said something.
Yes, of course. Of course, there is no reasonable. I repeat again, I'm still saying it. No reasonable man in his right senses would cheat on a caring, a loving wife that satisfies him also sexually. Do you know why I say so? All right, let me tell you this. You see, imagine being fed to the point where you are okay. Even if you see a food from a neighbor or even from an eatery, it won't appetize you anymore. Do you know why? You've been fed already in the house. You've been fed at home to a point where you are completely fed, you know, you are up, you don't feel anything anymore. There's no gap for anything to go into you. So it will be difficult for anybody to attract you or to entice you with such food, no matter how sweet it is. The problem here is that there are certain little things. You see, my dear sister, let me tell you the truth. Most of the time, what creates this problem might not be the big things we are looking at, the big pictures. It might be the tiny little ribbons. And that's why I said respect. Then I talked about sex.
Okay, let me ask you something now. Let me ask you. What will trigger a man that has a loving wife? He's living peacefully with his wife. He had his children. They are happy. You understand? And he's even proud of his woman, right? But he'll wake up one day and decide to get another wife, claiming that men are polygamous in nature. Tell me, what would trigger a man to do that?
Thank you. Now, what could trigger that? All right, spiritual powers. You see, most of the time, we fight a physical war, expecting to win a physical, a spiritual war from a physical point of view or with physical weapons. It doesn't happen. The Bible says that our weapon of warfare are not carnal. My sister, I'm telling you the truth. Our weapon of warfare are not carnal. The Bible said they are mighty in pulling down strongholds. They are spirituals. Most of the things we fight sometimes physically has a spiritual root somewhere. Deal with the dragon and cut off the head. This same thing you think is physical and normal will become so clear to you that it is not normal.